be a hassle for people who are on the program?
I think the devil's in the details, and I think we need to clearly look at the cost associated with developing this program. I also want to say a couple of things. That SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, also known as food stamps, are 100% federally funded on the benefit. I think that is unclear, especially from this conversation. So again, there is no other public benefit. It is the first line of defense against hunger in our state, in our nation, and anything that we can do to ensure that the integrity of the program is protected, then we are all in on that. I've had this conversation with Representative Yost, and again, I also want to say that food stamp fraud or abuse is got a very stiff penalty. The federal penalty is up to 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. So there is a lot of enforcement behind this, but again, I think the devil's in the details on how this is going to be implemented. It was interesting, some of the exemptions, but we also know that many of these assistance groups have multiple individuals in the assistance group, and we would hate to see a teenager who may be responsible for doing the grocery shopping turned away because their photo wasn't on the card. So there's a lot that has to be worked out as far as logistics.
What is your reaction to their suggestion that these cards are being sold as cash to drug dealers?
We have no evidence of that. I think that we had certainly had that conversation, but again, we believe that the food stamp program the integrity of the program must be maintained to the highest level, and anybody that commits fraud should be prosecuted to the letter of the law.
Do you think this will make it harder for people to get benefits?
You know, I'm not going to speculate at this point. I think sitting down and really working through the details, we'd like to have some conversations with clients. I think the other question is, can this be used for official identification, including registering to vote and voting? I think would be interesting. The exemptions, certainly, I think Joe asked a really good question. We have a lot of caregivers who are being responsible for persons with disabilities or seniors who are doing their grocery shopping. We don't want it to have a chilling effect. But again, we believe that the program must be maintained. The integrity of the program must be maintained.
Do you think that some people will just not get into the program if they know that there's going to be their picture on a card?
I wouldn't say. I mean, the other issue is while we have less than 1.6 million people on the SNAP program, we have seen over 275,000 Ohioans leave the program, many through no fault of their own because they were subject to the time limit of 3 months in every 36-month period. And that's resulted in the loss of $1,131 million in 100% federally funded food assistance in the past 3 years that have put a significant burden on food banks, food pantries, and soup kitchens across the state of Ohio.